Hello, good morning. I see you, Sally. Thank you to the Active Aging Summit this morning. It's so good to see some familiar faces, some faces from different communities coming in. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourself and learning a little bit more of what you can do to age in such a healthy way. We really appreciate your support through Active Aging and through Forever Fit. I really want to introduce this really awesome individual for our keynote, but first, before we do that, I just want to give you a couple of little things. After this keynote, we're going to move over to a breakout session with Jenny in the Taylor building. It'll be upstairs, and many of you are familiar with doing that last year, and you did say that you were over there at that time. So we'll do that, but right after the keynote, those of you who are willing to come up on stage and participate in our little Sally dance, that
Am I on? Testing? Can you hear me? Good morning. Here. And I.
Check, check.
Testing? Better? Okay. Have a Okay, try one more time. Here we go. Third time's a charm, right? I do want to a time to. I have. Maybe I need to stay still. Oh, this is going to be bad if I have to stay still. I'll try to stay still. Again, thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. It's fun to travel to different places. I did get some huckleberry jam to come home with me. So, like Jamie says, my name is Jenny McClendon, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. And being from the South, it's really about four things: family, church, food, and sports. And growing up, I played a lot of sports. I was very active, and it led to my favorite sport, which was gymnastics, leg warmers and all. And I did this until I was about 15 or 16 when I started finding out about cars and boys and the mall in the 1980s. But what did not go away was my love for being in the gym, for working out. I loved it. And I started teaching fitness classes at a ripe old age of 17 and still doing it. So I continued my career, if you could call it that, of teaching lots of aerobics, lots of high-top Reeboks and leotards. But I ended up going to University of North Carolina at Wilmington with a major in physical education and got my master's at ECU for physical therapy. And that led to a great career in a lot of different paths, such as pediatrics, outpatient orthopedics, and aquatherapy. I really, really enjoyed the outpatient orthopedics, so your backs, your hips, your shoulders, your knee surgeries. But what I didn't do is stop teaching classes. And I started a class called Fit Over 50 a long, long, long time ago, maybe 20 years ago, and taught that class for at least 15, 16 years. Same class, same format, same people. And I got really nervous when COVID hit. Made me really anxious, really sad, so I started putting videos online. Well, really my son did, because I'm not very techie. And he put them online and said, "Mom, these have a lot of views." I said, "Cool." He said, "No, Mom, they have like a lot of views. You need to keep this going." And so over COVID, I started putting more and more videos online, and it led me to my dream job 5 years later of continuing being an online health and fitness coach. But what I really like about it, it has led to really great opportunities such as international fitness retreats, speaking at awesome summits like this. And I just really enjoy meeting new people and connecting with them. And to me, being with seniors, brings me life. They say I motivate them, but the reality is they motivate me. They're very inspiring. You guys are very inspiring, encouraging, wise, and fun. So you're probably asking, why am I here? I'm here to talk about why our golden years can be our best years. Now, I know that's a little easy to say coming from somebody who's not quite golden yet, but I'm inching my way up there for sure. But with 30-something years in this industry, I have learned from my studies and from my clients that what we can do now really makes a difference in our choices tomorrow, and it can impact our lives and enable us to live a long, healthy, meaningful, and yes, fun life. So as we age, our world can sometimes feel smaller. We might travel to fewer places, we might work less, we might see fewer people, but I'm here to tell you that it really doesn't have to be that way. We can make our world feel big again, because the aging you want tomorrow begins today. And let's face it, today, in fact, right this second, is the youngest you'll ever be. So we have to get started. And so here are my top 10 tips that will keep our life big. Exercise, eat right, have purposeful work or volunteer, have meaningful relationships and be one with the community. Challenge your brain, sleep, be one with nature, have empathy and compassion, lower your stress, and finding joy. And that's it. Thank you very much. Just kidding. What we are going to do is go through each of these, and my goal for you is to take home at least one nugget of information that might help lead to changes in your life. So we're going to start with the one that I'm the most expert at, and that is exercise. Because really, motion is the lotion to our bodies. And we want to think of movement as a gift to yourself and not a chore. So I have 5 guidelines for us, and we're going to go through each one. And the first one is cardio. Here's a little class I'm teaching. I recommend at least 150 minutes or more of aerobic activity, moderate activity each week. This is the kind of exercise that keeps us feeling energized and not exhausted. It's not your stop and go movement, but your continual movement. It can help strengthen our heart, our lungs, boost muscle tone, balance, and overall vitality. And the secret to making it last is to choose activities that you enjoy. As a trainer for over 30 years, the first question they say is, what should I do? And I return it with one question, always the same one, what do you like to do? Because if we enjoy it, we will probably go back to it. So maybe it's a group fitness class, maybe it's hiking, maybe it's swimming, maybe it's biking. And we can't forget the power of a good old-fashioned walk. So in a minute of walking, our blood flow can improve. In 5 minutes of walking, our mood can improve. In 10 minutes of walking, our cortisol can go down. We're going to talk about cortisol. It's your stress hormones. In 15 minutes, our blood sugar can go down, and in 30 minutes, the fat burning can begin. So, go for more walks. Walk to think. Walk for no reason. Walk to solve a problem. Walk to blow off steam. Walk to get outside. Walk to listen and learn. Walk to escape distractions. And walk to improve your health. A simple walking habit can change absolutely everything. In fact, a new study out of Vanderbilt is showing that just one brisk walk a day for 15 minutes can decrease our risk of health by 20%. My goal for you is simple: walk after your meals. The best thing you can do for yourself aids in digestion, helps the blood sugar go down, and helps you sleep better. All right, now we come to strength training. Yes, strength training is one of the most powerful investments we can make for our health as we age. It's like life insurance, a safety net for our body. It helps build lean muscle mass, which improves our metabolism so that you're burning calories at a faster rate than the person beside you. It helps strengthen our bones. It helps protect our joints. And most importantly, it helps prepare you for everyday activities like carrying groceries or carrying a grandchild. All of this without risk of strain or injury. So I recommend at least 3 days a week or more. 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 20 repetitions of some sort of strength training exercise for each muscle group. And you don't need a fancy setup for this. You can use hand weights, water bottles, soup cans, gym machines, resistance bands, or simply using your own body weight. All of these can provide effective, safe, and lasting results. And there are new studies out showing that lifting weights only 2 times a week can slow our brain aging by up to 10 years. So basically, as we get older, our brain cells die off. That's a lovely thought, isn't it? The shrinkage affects our memory, attention, and clarity. But a 2023 study is now showing that lifting weights slow this down significantly. And why? Because strength training helps increase the hormones that go up to our brain from our muscles, and they help protect our brain cells and lower inflammation in the body. So I'm here to tell you the connection between muscles and your brain is real. All right, balance training. This is a third tip of exercise. So balance is the foundation of confident movement, yet it's something many of us take for granted until it becomes a challenge. So as we age, our reaction time goes down. Sometimes our strength goes down. We have changes in our vision, changes in our vestibular system. Man, it's fun getting old, isn't it? But the good news is that balance can be trained. It can be strengthened, and it can be protected at any age. So I recommend at least 2 days a week of balance training. This can be done in balance classes, Tai Chi, yoga. And the cool thing is, if you don't have time to do any of those, you can sneak it in. So next time you're outside, instead of avoiding the uneven surfaces, try walking on them. Go for the grass and the curves and the sand and the rocks. When you're inside at your house, walk without your shoes on. Walk in a tightrope. Tonight, when you brush your teeth, I want you all to try holding on one foot. Okay, we can sneak it in. And these little sneaks, these little exercise snacks do add up to lasting results. Because each step towards better balance is really a step towards greater independence, freedom, and a peace of mind. Flexibility and stretching. So maintaining flexibility is key to moving through life with ease and confidence as we age. It keeps our joints healthy, it supports everyday activities, and reduces our risk of injury. It allows us to stay active and allows us to be independent. So we need to do some sort of stretching every day, whether it's before and after workouts, maybe before and after bed, or maybe when we just feel tight. So the guidelines, we want to hold for at least 30 seconds to a minute. So when we stretch and hold, we see people do this all the time. It's not quite enough time, right? We have a lot of skin and tissues and fascia. We got to get deep to the muscle. So we need to hold for about a minute. I count all day with teaching classes. So when I personally stretch, I do 5 deep breaths, and that's usually enough. We also don't want to bounce, okay? We know Jane Fonda told us to bounce. You know, she had the head and the leaning. But times have changed, and we want to go for static stretching, meaning we go to the stretch. When do we stop? Okay, I feel it, I stop. With 5 deep breaths, you're going to probably end up going a little bit deeper. So slow, controlled, take your time, fit it in somehow. And we want to make sure we are not going to the point of pain. Most people who say they don't like stretching, it's because it's painful. It's too far. Go easy. And then the last one is leisure activities. These are the fun things. What activity do you enjoy? Pickleball, gardening, shopping. Yes, fellows, shopping is a sport, especially if you went with my grandmother, my mom, and my sister on Black Friday growing up. It is a sport. These activities can bring people together, and it can keep that friendly competition. For those of you that grew up playing sports, it's fun to keep that going. Most of these activities end up being outside, so we get the benefits of being outside, which we'll touch on in a minute, and it can bring much joy. So how often do I recommend leisure activities? I recommend it just often, okay? So, to recap, cardio, 20, 30 minutes a day. Strength training, 3 days a week. Balance training, 2 days a week. Stretching every day. Leisure activities often. Okay, that's a lot, I know. How do we fit it all in? The great thing is you could probably find one activity that includes all of these, such as a class I teach called Interval Fusion. We're getting cardio, we're getting strength training, we're getting balance in there as well, and we're stretching at the end. So maybe find a great fitness class, and if fitness classes aren't your thing, next time you go for a walk, which is typically just the cardio, try stopping at a bench and do some push-ups. Stop it. Oh, somebody didn't like that. Maybe some tricep dips. maybe some leg lifts, and then maybe stretch when you get home from your walk. And now your walk, which used to be just cardio, has now done a couple of different of these things. Because remember, staying active as we age is not about perfection. It's about consistency, joy, and finding movements that keep you feeling alive. So every stretch, every step, every playful activity you do adds up to a stronger, more confident, and independent you. And remember, 5 minutes is better than no minutes. All right, that was just our first tip, but that was our longest tip, don't worry. Okay, the next one is eating right, because let's face it, we can all exercise an hour a day, but what we choose to put in our mouth for the 15 to 16 other hours, that's the real challenge for many of us. And my tip is to eat right, and that seems pretty simple, right? But that's the key. We want to keep it simple. So a doctor I followed forever until he got fancy schmancy on social media, Dr. Mark Hyman, he would say, if it's not food, don't eat it. And I would think, what? That doesn't make sense. But then I really started to think. And what he's saying is, if it at least doesn't look like the ingredients it was made from, maybe not a good choice. If it's something your parents didn't have growing up, maybe not a good choice. I recommend eating from things that grow or move. And we cannot be distracted by fad diets. They're going to mess up our metabolism. Sure, you end up losing some weight at the beginning, but it's usually typically water, weight, and muscle. And then the fat comes on with a vengeance. I used to tell my clients, if you see any diet with a number in it, run. So, body burn for 90 days, or keto 30 days, or try this no sugar thing for 45 days. If there's a number in it, it's going to end. So we want to make sure that we realize it's a lifestyle, no stop and go. We want to fill our plates with protein and the good carbs, the complex carbs, and endless fruits and veggies. We want to think about our food in moderation. Portion control. I always used to tell my kids, you can always go get more, right? Fill up your plate small, and if you're hungry, by all means, get more. But 9 times out of 10, it's usually enough. And the most important thing, in my opinion, is to saying no to ultra-processed foods. What is that? It's the stuff in the middle aisles of the grocery. It's the stuff in the boxes and the bags. It's the things with expiration dates that are not anywhere near today. I don't know about you, but I don't want to eat anything in a box that's still going to be good in that box in 2 years from now. My also rule of thumb, no pun intended, is if the ingredient list is longer than the top part of my thumb, I'm not going to eat it either. Too much stuff. So in just 10 days of taking out ultra-processed foods, your headaches can go away, your joint pain can go down, your brain fog can go down, your energy can go way up, your sleep gets better, your mood can stabilize, and your digestion improves. So at the end of the day, eating right is a lifestyle. So we want it to be reasonable, sustainable, and enjoyable. All right, my next tip is to have purposeful work and or volunteer. So it is so important to feel needed, isn't it? As we age, sometimes we feel like we're not needed as much. So it's up to you to find some type of purposeful work, or maybe volunteer, because it can make a difference. Spread some goodness. Help somebody out. What if everybody in here did one small good deed tomorrow? I do think it could make a difference in this world. So what can we do? Lots of things, but maybe bring towels to a dog shelter. Help a single mom out. Delivering meals, if you drive, delivering meals to somebody who doesn't drive. Be a virtual tutor. I am probably guessing there are many brilliant people out here that has a gift to share. How many of you were teachers? virtual tutor. Maybe it could be as simple as the next time you go on that walk that you're going to do before and after dinner, bring a grocery bag with you and pick up some trash. And heck, you never know, some volunteer work might even make you some money, and that is not a bad thing. This is Jo Cletta, and she is from Louisville, Kentucky, and she's 100 years old, and she goes and works at Home Depot every single day. And I just added this in like a couple of days ago because this is Lexa, and she is 78, and she put on Facebook that she's starting a new business side gig of teaching Mahjong. And of course, I'm going to hire her. 78 and starting a side gig, yes. So she came over and taught us Mahjong, and I thought that was wonderful. Love that. All right. So we want to keep active with work, hobbies, socializing. It's a key factor in life longevity. There was a saying I heard at a wellness conference years ago, and he said, community is immunity, and that has stuck with me because it's really the ultimate medicine for the body and the brain. So we want to surround ourselves with positive people, supportive people, and bonus if they have similar interests as you. Because loneliness can be as harmful as smoking every day. It increases that cortisol, remember those stress hormones? It decreases our immunity and accelerates aging at a cellular level. And there have been many studies that show that one of the top predictors of long-term health is not diet, not wealth, or even genetics. It is the quality of your relationships. Next, we want to challenge our brain. Just like we exercise our muscles to keep active, we can exercise our brain too. We have to exercise our brain. Now, we used to hear, just do a crossword puzzle every morning, that'll work. And yes, that's good, but it's more important to do different things, to do new things, to do something you've never done before. That's a different part of the brain. That's what we can do to help keep our brain active. So, yes, it's a great day to start off your day with Wordle. I know you. But I challenge you to keep your brain exploring. Sleep, yes, sleep. So even though sleep patterns naturally change with age, it remains crucial for our health and well-being, impacting us physically, mentally, and in a cognitive way. So physically, good sleep allows our body at night to repair cells. It helps strengthen our immune system. And it can really help decrease our risk of chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. Mentally, good sleep can help regulate our mood, lower our stress, and help prevent anxiety disorders and depression. And cognitively, when we get a good night's rest, it can enhance our memory, our learning, improve our focus, problem solving, and decision making. I mean, all this by going to bed, I don't know about you, but yeah, count me in, okay? But we're not just talking about sleep. What we're talking about is quality sleep. So the best thing we can do is have a good nighttime routine. Going to bed at the same time every night, around the same time every night. Steering away from caffeine 5 to 6 hours before bed. Steering away from food 3 to 4 hours before bed. Not scrolling on our phones before we go to bed, even if you have to plug it in a different room like me. Not falling asleep with the TV on. Ooh. Keeping the room dark and cool. And invest in a good mattress and pillow. Okay, y'all. We spend a third of our life in bed. It is important to get you a good mattress and good pillow. You're probably now thinking right now, how old is my mattress? If it's 20 years, it's time to invest in one. I promise it'll be a great decision. All right, next tip, be one with nature. So hike, garden, sip on your coffee on your front porch and listen to the birds, or in my case from the south, the cicadas, which is not as pleasant as the birds. But nothing is better to me than being outside. I start every morning with an hour walk, no matter what, where I take my time, I breathe in the fresh air, I notice the flowers, and in my neighborhood, the deer that pass. I get to smile and wave to people. My dog gets exercise, and I get quality time alone. In fact, a neighbor just saw me walking and texted me and said, I see you walking every morning, can I join you? I said, I love you, but no, I don't want to talk in the morning. I talk all day long. No, I want that time for me. It's a great time that I can meditate, think, whatever I need to do, but I'll be with my dog, but that's it. When my kids left for college, I gave them my mom rules. It was a lot of them. Some were funny, some were serious, but one was walk instead of drive when you can, because you really don't know what you're going to miss. You might miss an opportunity, you might miss a person, you might miss, who knows what you'll miss. So try and be outside as much as we can. And this can benefit us physically and mentally. So being outside typically leads to some kind of activity. Even if we're sitting on our porch, we might see some things that need to be done in our yard. So now we're getting the benefits of exercise. The fresh air can boost our immune system, which can decrease our risk of not only getting sick, but staying sick. And what else do we get outside? Sunlight, sunlight. And that is that vitamin D that we all need. And the vitamin D helps the calcium in our body get absorbed in our bones. So it leads to stronger bones. Mentally, being outside can decrease that cortisol, decrease anxiety, and promote relaxation. It can improve mood, combat feelings of loneliness and isolation, and that natural light can help regulate our wake-sleep cycle. So it's going to lead to better sleep. And we already know what that will help do to us. It actually will most always provide an opportunity for social interaction. If we're inside, we're not going to get it. When we're outside, we most always will get some sort of it. This will also help decrease those feelings of loneliness and isolation. When I take my groups on fitness and fun retreats, we are most definitely going to be outside. Here's a group that I took on a hike and a winery tour in Malibu. And here is us hiking and doing a hot springs in Tuscany, Italy. It's hard work, y'all. It is hard work. And playing in the sand in Wrightsville Beach. Our next tip, having empathy and compassion. Having empathy and compassion can be as good for your health as eating right and exercising daily. It can lead to stronger bonds and more fulfilling relationships, which takes us back to how important that community was. See, it's all coming together, y'all. Receiving compassion helps us feel loved and valued, seen and understood. And it can help us be better equipped to cope with physical changes and maybe limitations and maybe regrets. So both giving and receiving empathy are linked to lower cortisol, lower stress hormones, help support immune function, heart health, and sleep. So next time we start the day, let's think about how we can share some love, Share some positivity with other people. And it can be as small as a smile. It could be as small as a wave. It could be as small as a hello. I always tell my kids, at least attach the name of the person to that hello. It makes them feel seen, valued, understood. Because I truly believe if we give, we will receive. Stress. Don't you just love reading, lower your stress? And like it's that easy. We probably think if I could, I would. But there are a million benefits of decreasing stress because our bodies and our mind are so interlinked. So when we have lower stress, we have lower inflammation in our bodies and our brain. And it can help prevent pain and all sorts of chronic conditions. And I have learned from working with many people that what lowers stress for somebody doesn't always lower stress for another person. So it's hard for me to tell you exactly what to do for that. For example, my sister, she loves a hot bath to relax. It lowers her stress. Me, I get in a hot bath and I'm fidgety, I'm thinking about everything I can do, I'm very hot, and now I'm sweating, and now I'm thinking I'm in the bath with my sweat, so now I gotta get out and take a shower. So for her, hot bath relaxing, for me, my anxiety just went way up. So different things for different people. So you have to ask yourself, what relaxes you? Where do you feel your calmest? When do you feel at most peace? Is it gardening? Maybe reading, journaling, calling a friend, listening to music. When I do meditation, and I'll be honest, it's got to be guided meditation. I can't do it by myself. But most always they start with, close your eyes, think of your happy place. Where is it? For me, it's always on the beach, which is close to where I live. Salt air, sound of the waves, maybe sound of the seagulls. I even envision myself in my favorite chair from the brown and orange plastic trifold ones I used to love. All of that would bring me peace. But one of the most healing things you can do for your nervous system doesn't cost anything. Anybody guess? I think somebody said deep breaths. Slow, deep breaths. Just 4 deep breaths can shift you from stress mode to rest mode. It can lower your heart rate and calm your mind. Could we try it? Let's try it. So we want to uncross our legs. Uncross your legs, sitting up tall, close your eyes, one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach. We're going to inhale with our nose for 4 counts, hold for 4, and release with our mouth open. Here we go. Inhale. Hold. Open your mouth. Exhale. Really exhale. Get it all out. Good. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Chest is going out. Hold. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Hold. And exhale. Ah, we feel so much better. But the breath is always available to you, even when you need peace. It could be at night, driving, if you just need to take a minute. It really will shift from stress mode to rest mode. And finally, finding joy. This is my favorite one. Last but not least, joy. I just even love the word joy. 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 I just love it. So cultivating joy becomes increasingly important as we age, as it affects our physical, mental, and social well-being. Joy and laughter can help combat loneliness and isolation. It can act as a buffer against depression and anxiety. It enhances resilience. It provides optimism. And it provides us a purpose for coping with life's changes. And it can contribute to better sleep quality by calming your mind. But it's up to you to find the joy in things, even in the small things. If you can't find them, you have to look for them. It may even take an attitude change. I will give you an example. How I feel about shopping carts in the parking lot. I used to get so mad, y'all. Oh, I would get so mad. Oh, they're so lazy. It takes 2 minutes. It's going to roll and hit somebody's car. Oh, I get so mad. And I always would take them up there. But one time I took one out as the employee came out, and she gave me a huge smile and said, "Thank you so much for doing that." And so my attitude changed from being annoyed with people to, oh, I just helped the employee out. So now, well, I don't know if it brings me total joy, but it does. It's an attitude shift. It's an example of finding joy in something that could be annoying. So you want to think hard. You know, what makes you smile? What makes you giggle? What makes you really giggle? Who makes you giggle? Surrounding yourself with those type of people and those type of places. Finding joy can increase our life longevity. Here's a picture of my parents finding joy. Joy with their animals. And here is just a couple of my clients finding joy, whether it's Fred fly fishing, Maria baking, Nancy with her great-grand twins, or even Bonnie doing a 1-minute plank, you know. I asked a couple of my clients, my participants, my YouTube viewers, members, what brings them joy. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of what they said.
Having breakfast outside on a summer morning.
Travel.
Baking homemade bread.
Baby birds in my birdhouse.
I get joy from the challenge and sense of accomplishment from doing home improvement projects.
Boogie boarding in the Atlantic Ocean.
Watching my son become a dad.
Playing golf with my grandsons brings me joy, especially when I beat them.
Quilting. Hiking in the woods, in the mountains, brings me great joy.
Morning coffee and morning puzzles.
Early on a beautiful summer sunny morning, listening to and watching the birds.
Music.
Hydrangeas. They remind me of my grandmother.
My life and my video chats with my grandchildren in France.
Sitting in a chair reading a good book.
Playing pickleball. Playing pickleball. Playing pickleball. Playing pickleball.
This is the joy of my life. Listen. Anyway, that's the joy of my life. I better finish. It's 33 seconds. Okay, bye. Thanks for everything. I just got off the class with my top on. Bye.
So, you know, the perfectionist in me immediately cut that part out and put it all together. But every time I watched her, I lit up. I giggled. So I had to leave that last part in because that brought me joy. So at the end of the day, we are all like vintage cars as we age. We're both aging, but we're both classic. The leather's starting to wrinkle a little bit. We're both getting a little rusty. We don't quite move as fast as we used to. We both start the morning with a little rattling and creaking. Cars can sometimes stall unexpectedly, and sometimes we do too. Wait, why did I come in this room? But what happens when we take great care of this car? It moves better, it looks better, and it feels better. And what happens if we put premium fuel, not regular fuel, premium fuel, clean foods? It's going to work even better, and it's going to last even longer. So the bodies and cars, they're like, well, they're both machines. And if we treat them with great care, they're both going to shine. So really, the body is a self-healing miracle. We just have to give it a chance. So if you absorbed one small nugget of information from this presentation, that is awesome. I did my job. But could you put it into action? Could you put it into action today or tomorrow? In small groups, I make them raise their hand and say what they could do. I won't make y'all do that, but think back to the presentation. Maybe it's an extra walk. Maybe it's doing a good deed. Maybe it's changing our nighttime routine a little bit. Any small change is going to help. Because here's the thing about changes. It's never too late to see or feel a change. And small changes can lead to long-lasting results. So in the words of Jim Rohn, if you want things to change, you have to change. But if you will change, everything will change for you. Do y'all know how to scan? Have you ever wondered how to scan a QR code? If you know how, I would love for you to scan this code. If you want, you can do it. You can go to my YouTube later. On my YouTube channel, there are fitness classes for you. There are nutritional videos for you. There are interviews for you. There's even blooper reels to make you laugh. If you want to scan this, you just open up your camera and don't take the picture, okay? You just scan it and you'll see a little yellow bar. You click that, it's going to lead you right to my online fitness and health channel. From there, everything can be free for you. You just got to scroll and find what's going to bring you joy. Line dancing, yoga, anything you want. I also really, really like to stay in touch with you guys. That's what brings me joy too. I love connecting. If you ever want to email me with questions or good news or anything, I'd love to hear from you. That is my email. It's also my website. If you go on my website, you're going to get a little pop-up. If you enter your name and email, I will send you a free ebook that I wrote on 5 tips to reducing joint pain. If you sign the registration in the back, I'll do the work for you. I'll email you so that you have it. I want to thank you so much for letting me come. I appreciate it. And we are going to maybe I might see you at 10 o'clock for the balance class. And if not, have a great rest of the day.
You guys know what's next. Let's go! Here we go.